folks. Well, we are back. So, got a new little project. Got this little drill press. Doesn't have the motor for it. Got it at a junk sale. Gave $20 for it. Don't know anything about it. Something is froze up here. It's not moving like it should, up and down. Other than that, everything else seems to work pretty good. It's pretty darn old. Let's see, I ain't even looked at the brand of it. I can't really tell. It looks like DUN. What is that? DUNLAS? LAR? Can't really tell. Let's see if we can see what it says. I'm not really sure what that is. Let's see, maybe give all of you, maybe somebody can comment if they recognize what this is. Well, what is that? DUNLA Dunlap. Maybe that's what it says. Well, I don't know. I think that's what it is, though. I think that's a Dunlap. I don't really know anything. I don't know anything about Dunlap. Maybe y'all do. Somebody leave me a comment if you do. Anyway, so that will be the start of another little project. I've got to get it all tore down, see what's up with that up and down on it. So we can go ahead and start taking that apart. I'm going to need a motor for it, obviously, and I've got another idea on that. Let's see if we can do all this in one take. So over here on the other end of the workbench, I have completely taken apart a treadmill to get the motor out of it. Which, you know, that'll be, you know, it's converted, it goes in 115, converts over to DC, and that's a 1.5 horse, let's see, yeah, 1.5 horse, 6,400 RPMs, runs off of 12 amps. I went ahead and tore it all apart, you know, took the treadmill apart. I didn't videotape any of that because just, you know, trying to keep the film as short as possible. And it was, you know, kind of boring taking that thing apart. So I didn't record any of it. But the point is, I've got it all taken apart and I've got it down to the minimum amount of things that you've got to have in order to make this thing run. Now I will cut right here and come back. I'll show y'all some of the parts I took out. Okay. Now, for those of you that's never done any of these treadmill build, you know, tearing down treadmills and using parts for other things, I get all the treadmills I can get because they're just loaded with all kinds of parts. And people, a lot of times, will just give you the things. You'll see them on the edge of the road. But there's a lot of wiring that I was able to do away with. And I mean, there is literally just all kinds of stuff here. The one of the circuit boards, you know, I found out by just taking it. Now I took this thing all apart with everything still wired in together, to where once I got it out of the treadmill, I could see the motor would still run. And then I eliminated, you know, process of elimination. I got rid of everything that I didn't need. Okay, so I don't need all of this. Now, later, if there is something I need, I've got it. I mean, I'm not throwing it away right now. There's what they call a linear switch. And there again, for those of you that don't know this, if you can get some of these that's got the linear switch, it's a lot better. I've got another one that didn't have a linear switch, another treadmill that is, that I took the motor and everything out of, and then found out later that I was going to actually have to buy some other parts in order to be able to run the thing, because it was all digital controlled and it's complicated. But anyway, this has got a linear switch. These are a lot easier to use the way that I'll be using it. So, you know, like I said, I don't need this. And, you know, I could take my Dremel and cut this little piece right here out, to where if I just wanted to make something to mount the switch in, you know, with the little button or knob or whatever that goes on it, you know, I could do that. But we'll figure that out later. And I don't know what the thing had a battery pack in there for. And then there was this little piece, which I don't know what it is. This is a thing that you put your finger on or your thumb on. It would take your pulse or whatnot. You know, if I'm running a drill, I don't see a point in that. But anyway, there was, you know, a lot of stuff that we don't need. So we're getting rid of it. Okay, now on to the motor and the stuff that we are going to use. Like I said, you do have to have the linear switch. Now, I think a person could probably put a knob on there as well. Okay. Some people call it a rheostat, odometer or something like that. And I may look into that, but for now, this will work. Okay, so we've got that. Then we've got our, you know, our transformer, which could be mounted anywhere. You do have a circuit board here that's, you know, it's got to be there. And then this, you know, this is your power end. It does have a ground, which the motor doesn't have to have the ground on it for it to work or to run. But later on, you know, I will use this same power cord and I will ground this out to the drill so that everything is grounded. And other than that, there's just two wires that run over here to the motor. All right. Make sure y'all can see that motor good. So, it's got a big flywheel on here. And for those of you that don't know, that haven't watched any of these types of videos, you'll find out whichever direction this motor is going to spin, the thread that threads this big flywheel onto the motor is in reverse. So you have to, basically what a lot of people do is throw this thing in reverse, and it'll literally unscrew this wheel for you, and it'll take out across the floor. But we're not going to do that right now. Yeah, I know you want to. Oh yeah, I did get this little vise I picked up the other day at a sale. I think I gave $8 for it, and need to create some more of these soft jaws that go in there. They're kind of wore out, but anyway. Well, we'll fire it up, let y'all see the thing run. And this little old motor, now let me tell you, it will boogie. And one of the neat things about these treadmill motors, you can go real slow as well, see. Now, they don't have a lot of torque in slow speed. But let me see if I can. Well, I don't want to tear that up. Let me get something. Okay, I got a rubber mallet here. So, you know, in real slow speed, like if you had a big drill bit in low speed, that's not going to work. And you can look at Mr. Pete's videos. I don't know if y'all know, familiar with them, but he put one of these on a drill press and tried to run big drill bits in it. It's not going to work. And I'm not going to be using this for big drill bits. This is actually going to be small drill bits, you know, for drilling pilot holes. And small, you know, the little drill bits, they run off a, you know, a higher speed than the big bits. But anyway, we'll crank it on up here. Now, we're about a quarter of the way. And let's see, there's half. And full speed. Now that's doing 6,400 RPM. Okay, so it's moving. Let's see, that's about halfway. Alright, I'm going to unplug it. A lot of these treadmills, if you disconnect the power and then you go to reactivate the power, because of the circuitry in this board here, it won't restart. The digital one I had wouldn't. You'd have to go back and start over from the beginning every time. So you couldn't just set your speed and then just like turn it on and off and go back to that speed. You had to start back out at 0 again. And the obvious reason for that is because somebody's standing on the treadmill and for some reason the power blinks on and off and they stop walking because the thing stops and then all of a sudden it turned back on. It would throw them across the living room. So... anyway, let me plug it back in here and we'll see what it does. Okay. So, you see it didn't restart. So, if I go anywhere like that, it's not going to go. But if I come back down to 0 and then start again, then it'll work. So, without buying some type of hardware or something, you know, circuitry or something for this thing, that's just the way it is. But I can live with that. I don't have a problem with that. It's simple to just, you know, to just turn it off and then turn it back on. With the other one that I've got, the digital one, it had buttons, you know, for up and down, and you'd have to sit there and, you know, push the button over and over and over and over and over and waiting on the, you know, it had a digital readout, so you'd be sitting there waiting on the digital readout to click up from 0 up to 100 or whatever the dang thing went to. And that was just like, that wasn't going to work. So in fact, I put it up. I still got it. And just, you know, wasn't going to use it on the project that I was doing at the time. So, but this is good. And the other thing that I'm wondering is maybe I could use the other motor. I believe that other motor I've got is, I know it's a lot bigger than this small motor. It may be 2.5 horsepower where this is 1.5. So I think I could probably just put that other motor on these two wires right here and we're good to go if I want a larger motor. But for this, I don't think we need it. All right, now that y'all know everything that I'm wanting to do, I'm going to tell you, I really don't know how this is going to work, if I'm going to be able to make all the parts that I need. I'm not really sure about even mounting the motor. I think that You know, there's a little bracket back here. I think I could probably build something, you know, to where the motor would mount onto that and conveniently go back into this set of grooves there, and you know, line up with a belt. And you know, and obviously the belt goes around this, so this is not in the way. Let's see, you know, make it where you can set the tension on the belt. That's going to be a little belt too. And I'm not sure, but I mean, these are V'd pulleys. I have seen this type of deal on a piece of equipment I had years ago that actually had a round belt. And you know, and the belt would go around, and then it would go through these, and it would come down here, and then your motor would just mount down there with a pulley on it, and that's the way the thing worked. But what we're talking about is a little different. I think I would rather have the motor just mounted right here with a small belt, and of course then we have to figure out about the travel, because obviously this is going to travel more than what it is right now. We're fixing to get into that and see what the problem is. And it's got this little thing on it, I think is some type of a brake. This pulley goes further down. I've got it up here just sitting on the top. The pulley sits down in there, and I think this was a brake, but I don't know. Let's see if I can look it up tonight. I just got this today. I mean, literally today. And when I say today, I'm talking about, I'm going to post this video tonight, and y'all will be able to see it by tomorrow, which would be the 7th. So I bought this on the 6th, okay, November the 6th. But anyway, this was in between two of those, and I don't know why that is. Like I said, I hadn't really given this thing a whole lot of thought yet. I just got it today. But anyway, so the pulley comes off, and obviously the pulley will ride up and down like a normal drill press, and it's got a key in there. Excuse me. And of course, there's my worst enemy right there, is these damn dirt daubers. And they get into everything, let me tell you. But we'll get all that cleaned out later. Now what I'm looking at down here is, I think y'all can see that, I've got some type of a little bracket here that I think might have had a bearing or something that actually, like a lever, that would, you know, make this go up and down, and something has come loose or tore up in there, and that's what I've got to get apart where we can see what the heck is going on. So here we go. Now, there's where the problem was. So, that thing has been brazed. I'm sure y'all can see that. This piece has been worked on before. This is made out of brass. And it's bent. Okay. I think I can fix that. But yeah, it looks to me like maybe something got out of whack or something got hung up, and then somebody just sat over here with the deadgum handle, you know, pulling on it, probably up there at that junk sale. Made it even worse. I did the same thing when I walked up, was pulled on the handle. So yeah, this would have had a rod that goes through it, and it looks to me like somebody brazed it up. Maybe the rod kept moving and got too loose, and somebody sorted these ends are just, this was all one piece except for the rod that rode through there. and this metal is just rolled over with a seam here, and they soldered that seam together. So there's where the problem was. But we can build something. And still haven't gotten this out, but I don't know that I need it out. It looks like it's all in good shape. Got a good heavy. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Can you see down in there? Yeah, I think you can see that. Got a good heavy spring right there. And see, all that right there is brass. That down there is going to be brass. I'm just assuming, since the top one is, I would assume that those both are brass. I might put some ball bearings in there. You know, it's a thought. But anyway, it's really pretty simple. Yeah, so, you know, we can clearly see now that this has got a lot more travel than what it did with that piece being tore up. So that's good. And, you know, it needs to be oiled up. I don't see anything broke. You know, I don't see any kind of, you know, cracks. So that's all. This is all solid cast iron. I mean, this thing was forged and poured in a mold, you know. You got your parting seams. Yeah, this is all heavy duty cast irons. Actually very well built. This bolt here somebody stuck in there. That's just some aftermarket store, you know, something somebody bought at the store. I'd probably, you know, take this bolt out and put something that looks more original in it. And, you know, the handle is real simple. I think it's more than likely all original. Yeah, it's stuck. Anyway, I think you pull that out, and that allows you to have a handle that'll, you know, kind of like a vise, you know. You're gonna have that style there, or if you want full leverage, you know, if you're just running some small bits, you don't need that much leverage anyway. I mean, this thing is probably only 3/8. Let's look at the chuck. Excuse me. I'm still hadn't gotten over this change of weather. I'm doing a lot better though, if you can't tell. Hell, it don't matter. I never could talk anyway. Anyway, let's pull this off and see if this is a 3/8. I know it's not going to be a 1/2 inch. Let's get that out of the way. Yeah, that's going to be a 3/8. Let's see. Yeah, we'll have to tear that apart and get it all cleaned out. But anyway, y'all notice too, this doesn't even take a chuck. I mean, you know, a chuck wrench, a key, whatever. So I would assume you'd, you know, when the pulley's up here, you'd grab the pulley and hold it and then just reach down here and tighten that up to snug up on the bits. Yeah. Let's see what we got here in the drawer. I don't know if I got anything that would work on it. You know, I've got, this is a really good chuck. I wish I could, well, it'd be really too big, wouldn't it? Yeah, because we're doing small bits. This is a Jacobs. I've had it for over 20 years, more like 30, 35 years. And I've got a couple of odd end little ones here. And neither one of them would fit. So we'll start out. We'll go with the original one. I'll get it all cleaned up, and if we don't like it, we'll buy another one. Anyways. So I was looking around and found some numbers. Model number 102. No, 103. Yeah, let's see. I probably ought to write that down so I can look it up later. Later tonight when I'm downloading this video. Okay. Model number 103. Then over here is some more numbers. Let's see, 21720. Anybody figure out what we got here? Let me know. And it used to be gray, so some of the paint is still in good shape. We may not even have to repaint this thing. We may just be able to clean it up. Well, I'll be. That's okay by me. I'd rather just keep it all original. I'd like to get a year on it. If any of y'all have any luck and you find what year this whole thing is, let me know. Oh, and also, by the way, while we're talking, I do get a few comments along the way. I'm a new channel. Got a couple of thumbs up. Got a few subscribers. But really what I want to know is if you like the type of content that I'm doing, which the only reason I'm doing this is I watch other guys like y'all do it, and I like it. It's what I like to watch. If you do like this type of content, let me know. Give me a thumbs up, if you're not too busy, leave a comment. And let me know something. So, I don't know how well y'all can see it, but the more I scrub on it, the better I like the paint. I mean, it's dirty. And it's taking some considerable scrubbing. And I haven't put anything on it, like some carburetor cleaner or anything like that. But I think we can go with all the original paint on it. Now, I may have to do some of the other pieces that are obviously, they're rusted. We'll do whatever on them. We'll take them down to bare metal. That little knob there. That little knob. We'll take this out. We'll clean this up. I'm sure this is all going to be, shine up like stainless steel. Whatever it's made out of. But we'll get all that back down to bare metal. But I think all the paint's going to be good. Anyway. So, we got the bolt out. And that's how the pulleys come out. Pretty simple. It's really interesting the way they built the things, back years ago. So now we know how they put the belt tension on. So the motor would be bolted down to the bench, and you would just pull out on these and drop the pin in whichever hole in order to tighten the belt. Or, depending on where you've got the pulley, you could, well, I'm not going to put that back on there. It needs to be cleaned up. But that pulley sits way down in there, obviously. And so you could, have some type of adjustment for this. Or is it to tighten the belt? Or is it to do both? I don't know. Y'all think about it, or let me know if let me know something. We are going to get a Facebook I'm going to get a Facebook thing set up where we can communicate via Facebook. And I'd like for y'all to send in some of your photos of some of the stuff y'all are working on or what you've built. And I'll try to get that going by next week. Like I said, I am a new channel and I've got a lot going on. I'm real busy, so I don't have, all the time in the world to do this. And like I said earlier, if you like this type of content, let me know, because if you don't want to see it, then there's no need me videotaping it. I just love building this kind of stuff. It's what I do. All right, folks. Well, it's going to be a little short video. She came out here and hollered and said it was dinner time. She's got the grill going, got steaks going, so I'm sorry, but I gotta go. Anyway, I got the flywheel soaked in WD-40 over there. I'll let that set up. And then I'll continue on thinking about how we can mount this motor on there.